Hello, Leslie. Hello, Charito. Nice to have you here today again.
Good,
Hello.
good morning.
Good morning. And Philip is joining us.
Yes.
So, we will start in less than a minute. I hope you are fine and I hope you will enjoy the topic. So, I switch my camera off and we start right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone in the world. Welcome to the next Power of Touch, the Industry 5.0 event in which together with the members of my global family, we write on the back of language towards the wasteless world, the future which we build for all. And every single time, for more than 2 years, we select one term and we speak about it. And the term today is second. And I will start with you, Leslie, having you first in the chat. So when you close your eyes and you hear the term second, what came first to your mind, please?
So let me confirm that you said second as opposed to first. Is that correct?
Isn't the same term used for the time measurement?
Yes, I just want to make sure the word is second.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is written as you describe it.
Okay. So second. Well, of course, second can be, I just realized this and it wasn't the first thing, but the seconds on the clock. And it is a measurement of time. But that's not what came up for me. What came up was being second and what it's like to aspire to be first in something and then to be second, which is no small feat. So, do we celebrate second because of the effort that we put in, and doing it again could have us be first, or do we give up? Now, those who the few out of each 100, if that many, they continue to practice and press on until they become an expert and become at the level of first. But unfortunately, most people don't stay persistent, don't keep going, see second as a loss, yet one would have to be second before they ever reached first. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Charito, you are the next one. If you close your eyes and you hear the term second, what came to your mind, please?
Oh, good evening, everyone. Michael, Leslie, and who's here?
Philip.
Okay, anyway, Philip. Sorry. Well, when I heard the word second, its meaning for me depends on the situation. So when you say, for me, when I say second, if it's a race, a contest, or whatever, you are only, there's somebody always above you, somebody being the first, somebody is ahead of you, if that is a contest. But if it's time, or if you are studying and you're in college, I should say maybe probably because of the grades. Then if you're only second, you graduate, the first is the summa cum laude, the second is the magna cum laude, or the valedictorian, the salutatorian, meaning there is a standard in the grading. And if you're second, somebody is always higher than you. Somebody beats you to that. Now, if you talk about seconds in the time, time is the first time of the day, right? Seconds. You count 60 seconds to make a minute, 60 minutes to make an hour. So it's the root of the time. It's the smallest timing section of time. How will I say it in English? But it's the second. It's a split second or a split time to start time on earth. or anywhere else. So second or seconds for me, I will say it in the context of where it is being used. But because we're discussing it, then that's it. I'm trying to define it by that context, time, a race, and whatever, education, intellectual prowess. But when you say second, you are not the best. You are only next. But if anything happens, if it's a contest for Miss Universe, whatever, if you're the second and something happens to the first, you can go first. But in other things, if you're second, you're second. You don't go first. That's back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. And Philip, you are the third one today. So if you close your eyes and you hear the term second, what came first to your mind, please?
Hi, Michael, Leslie, and Charito.
Hey.
First, I wasn't really thinking about time, second in time, more about not to be first, like to be in a second place. Today, a lot of people want to be first in a race, whatever. They want to be in front, they want to be in a shine. They don't want to be second. But I think to get first, you have to be third, second, or even further behind. And yeah, a second, it's not always bad. Sometimes you can relax, like when you see a race and like a bicycle race, they can relax a bit in the second place and then they take over and be at the first place. But yeah, it was funny that I also was thinking about, like Leslie, not about second in seconds on a watch, but like on a place where to be. Yeah, that's about from my side. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. You know that I am trying to pick up single word, but not to use it twice. But do you know what? On April 17, 2024, we already talked about second. And it will be very interesting to compare it because I will right now, because Tracy joined us, I will ask her this first question and then we start the second round. Tracy, nice to have you here. The term today is second. And my question to you, if you close your eyes and you hear second, what came first to your mind, please? And you have to, yes.
Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Second, actually, all I can think is time. 1 second, and the blink of an eye is 1 second. That's the measurement of time. That 60 seconds make into 1 hour, 1 minute. 6 minutes makes into 1 hour. I'm sorry, I'm just waking up, so I don't I can't think. Not yet. Okay, thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Leslie, and I will give the same question probably to all. I'm not sure. But Leslie, do you think that the first step is easier than the second one? Or let's ask in the context of our talk, is the second step easier than the first one?
Did you say in terms of thought?
Yes. Or action or anything?
Well, the first is the one that you step out on faith. The first is the one where you give yourself a direction and you follow through, which is integrity. So in most cases, when we go to do something we've never done before, there is fear present in our thoughts, and fear is strong. So I would say when doing something that you have not done before or you failed at, that the first step would be the hardest, because then you just never stop moving your feet. So these steps can be baby steps. The key is to never stop moving your feet. So in that respect, based on the human psyche and what we know about the mind and fear, etc. For me, as far as thinking goes, in that context, the first would be the hardest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charito, last week our term was decade, so quite a long period of time. Today we are speaking, as you mentioned correctly, one of the shortest periods of a time which we measure as a standard measurement. But you know as well that Industry 5.0 just 2 days ago entered the second decade of its existence. And my question to you, do you think that the second decade will be different than the first one?
Oh, the second decade for Industry 5.0.
Yes.
If the roots of this industry is in place, I mean, it's a hard and fast rule. If I'll use the word rule, if the vision and the mission of this Industry 5.0 is written in black and white or written not written in water, everything that we did in the first decade would still be the same in the second. But the thing is, the second one will adapt to the new environment. We have AI, we have everything. Not all decades are the same in terms of people, in terms of the acceptance of this industry. So when you say, will it be better than the first decade? I would say it would be different. But when you say, is it easier? I don't think so. Is it harder? I don't even think so, too, because it's a decade of itself. As long as this Industry 5.0 stands on its own 2 feet firmly on the ground and will not be swayed by any AI or any other political or natural happening or dilemma, I would say that the first and the second would still be the same. The innermost, the interest, the desire of the founder, you, and the people around you, the drums around you, Michael. I think it would not be harder. The second, in fact, I would not call it hard and easy. I would call it different. And when you say different, there is an easiness in it, there is a hardship in it. So everything is still there, just like in the first decade. I hope you understand my point here, Michael.
Yes,
If
yes.
we stand true to our conviction of this, how it was founded 10 years ago, the first decade, I should say, we look at it. Maybe it was hard or it was easy, but the second one, I don't look at it as hard and easy. We have to tackle a different decade, and we have to be open to everything around it, the psychological, the environment, the political, the natural, and everything around us. So I would say let's think about that more. I mean, me, if I'm going to be with Industry 5.0 the next 10 years or decade. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. Philipp, you are the Industry 5.0 ambassador in Switzerland. I think you already are the ambassador for 3 years or even more, I'm not sure right now. But the question for you, you know the methodology called 6R, which consists of 6 steps. And the first one is recognize, and the second is reconsider. Was for you, if you ever apply this methodology in your work, was the second step harder than the first one?
Oh, I think it's hard to recognize something that you first see it, that there is something you can reuse and something which is not trash. Like most people don't see a thing as a useful thing. Like a lot of people think, oh, it's just trash, you can't use it again. And I've learned so far that so many things can be reused. And I've seen so many interesting things how you can reuse so-called trash. Because trash, it's actually just the wrong design or wrong thinking, wrong material. But in my opinion, it's sometimes harder to recognize something as a valuable resource firsthand. Yeah, because it's so easy, yeah, just throw it away, you don't use it anymore. But to think further and to get an idea what you can make out of it, or bring people together, bring companies together. Sometimes for some it's waste, for others it's a resource you can use again. So I think first thing, just to see it, I think that's the harder bit, in my opinion. Yeah, still, I still sometimes I'm used to what, when you see what people make out of so-called trash, even for me, for my part, I see, I would have no clue what I could make out of it. And another person or the company, they reuse it, and I have to say, wow, brilliant idea. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Philip. Tracy, why do you think that in English language there is the phrase just a second or wait a second, but then you are waiting minutes and sometimes hours or years? Uh, why do you think it was adopted in such a way? Wait a second.
I think before digital or computers become a inseparable tool that we use daily, the smallest measurement of time is a second. That's why it's used as a very short period of time, because 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, right? That's we can't say wait 1 hour. That sounds too long. So with the second, it just becomes natural, because it's almost it's synonymously as immediately. I will get right back to you with a second. But this is very figuratively speaking, because really it always takes more than 1 second when we say wait a second, right, Michael?
I was surprised when I was for the first time in UK and I get this answer. So I expected immediate response, but there was none. But I have seen the reaction of Leslie. Leslie, do you agree with this explanation about wait a second?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, what made me laugh in the chat was, I was thinking about when I was growing up and we'd be in the car waiting, right? And someone say, wait a second. My mother always was looking for one thing or another. So we're all waiting. Wait a second. I'll be right out. So, yes. And it is what is it? It's perhaps not so diplomatic, but certainly an alert to others involved that they're not coming right now. And to your point, nothing takes a second. This is where we used to, just groan in the car because mom would say, well, just wait a second, right? But it was never a second. It could be a minute, rarely. It could be as much as 10 minutes. So I think it's an indication to people in your presence that you're not coming right away. So I do agree. That was a good one.
Thank you, Leslie. Charito, do you think that, many clocks or watches today have a second hand, or the hand which show up the seconds, the fast running? But I do remember when I was a boy, there has been clocks without this. And even today you can see without. Do you think that if we stop paying attention to the seconds in a meaning of watching how the time is running, that we will be able to, what to say, to concentrate more, for example, or to appreciate the time more?
Oh, so you are talking about the clocks,
Yes, yes.
In fact, Nowadays, we don't use clocks anymore. We use our cell phones, and it's there at time. No seconds, no minute, no hour, just automatic there. What time is it when you open? So, your question is, will it distract us or will it
Yes, yes.
change the way we look at time? I don't think
Uh,
so.
you know, let me put it different way. I
Oh,
do
okay.
remember the very first digital watch, wristwatch. And I do remember there was all the time hour, minute, and there was running the seconds. But on the phone, I don't see the seconds. Even on the computer, I don't see the seconds anymore. It's like
Okay.
it's quite interesting. They have gone
Yeah,
in
maybe.
different direction.
Yes. Yeah, I get your point, Michael. I think that it's because nowadays we don't need seconds to do that. The computer can do that for us. We don't need time anymore just to, be wary about it. Is it seconds, minutes, or what? Because I think everything is fast because of AI, the proliferation of the artificial intelligence, discount this timing. I don't know. In my own opinion, as if it's like everybody's rushing, but AI gives that to us in a speed of light, especially even in computing. So how much more with time? We don't need more time to do that. You just tuck in the phone and it's there, calculators and it's there, and all those things. So the seconds in a I think it's like newspapers or any other right now, which has lost its meaning because of artificial intelligence. Its substance, its usefulness, is being I am sorry to say that it's in my own opinion are because of AI. So the seconds that is not there anymore. But of course, in reality, there is second. In fact, it's the minutest, the smallest amount. So it's there, but we don't just need to look at it in a clock or everywhere else. Because if you need time, you just look at our gadgets and all that. But people are aware that time doesn't change. Time is keeping pace with our usefulness. So
Unfortunately,
I'm not hearing anything.
yeah. Unfortunately, Charito, the voice was
am I?
cut.
I I got lost. Okay. So have I think I have finished
Yeah. We have heard
that. Yeah.
your explanation. So thanks a lot. Philip,
Yes. Okay.
do you know what, Philip, is interesting? That not a single one of you mentioned second hand, but you, in some way, mentioned repurposing or working with something which someone sees as trash, and then you saw the results. Same with me. Every single time when I discover something and so on, I'm so surprised that it works, first of all, and then that somebody came to this idea and that's so great. But do you think that the second hand, as which we use the term here, for example, for clothing or even for furniture, do you think that it will become more popular with the time which is coming? So in with the wasteless world which we are building.
Yeah, 100%. In Switzerland, like we see quite often secondhand clothes. It's quite famous, popular now to go to secondhand shops because there you find something which is individual, not like everybody else has it. Like when you order it in normal shops, everybody else has the same thing a few thousand times, and here it's special. So you have this clothes. It's expensive watches. Like a lot of people nowadays buy secondhand watches, the expensive ones, so they are affordable. And yeah, and also I mean secondhand, you get a product which is already used. Maybe it has few dots, bruises, whatever, and it's well used and it will run well. I mean, same in traffic. I mean, you don't have to get a new car. You can get a secondhand car as well, or anything secondhand. So because this will save resources, and yeah, I don't really see why to buy a new thing when you can get, like, you have so many different things which you can use now secondhand. So yeah, actually, I think it's a really good idea. So I also have quite a few things secondhand, and they work fine. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. Tracy, we have heard from Philip about the second hand, but what about the second chance? You know, I worked for a long time for a Japanese company, and when there was a mistake done by employees, especially then by managers, they get all the time second chance, and again second chance, and again. But some, especially here in Czech Republic, some people learned that even if they make a mistake, they will have the opportunity to work further in the same position or even better. So, do you think that the second chance is a positive thing? In general, I know there can be cases where we cannot say that, but in general, is it second chance a positive or a negative thing?
Second chance is, I would say, neutral. Depends on the situation, but there's a saying we always say that everybody deserves a second chance because the first time, most time is kind of unprepared, right? First time is the first effort. It can easily be forgiven if that's not successful. So therefore, the second chance is often provided because I think to try it for the second time or give a second effort is appreciated in most circumstances. But the third will be considered too much, extensive or something extra. So second sometimes is considered, maybe in most cases, is necessary. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And speaking about the necessity of second, you know what we have not mentioned is that second, let's say it a different way. When I do the time travel, I know that I cannot do the second step without doing the first one. It simply does not work. I need to do it. I need to see tomorrow to be able to see the day after tomorrow. And as you know, I'm 4 months ahead at the moment. So, and in education, which was mentioned before, there is nothing wrong in reaching the second class because it means we have finished the first one. So I am just now struggling with the fact that many people see to be second as something negative because I don't do that. And maybe I will ask you, Leslie, on Irada, do they see the first? So do they see the same like we see here?
So I need you to ask that question again. I'm a little confused at what you're asking me, if you don't mind, Michael.
No. If you think that being second is something wrong only, or if it can be a positive, and I just use the opportunity because you know a lot about Irada, so I use the opportunity to ask the same, whether the same feel or understanding have the people on Irada.
Well, really, the people on Irada are me in different forms, aren't they? They're part of my psyche, my visualizations, my unique imagination. So it's going to be the answer. I feel like a political person, a Republican now, right, who never answers the question. Tap dances around, I guess. So what I want to say is that it has to do with my values. And that world is how I aspire to be. So there would be no negative as with being second on errata, because people would be moved by heart-centered service. So it wouldn't be about there. It's not about who came in first, who came in second, who scored the highest, because that's all ego-centered. And this is a world of virtues, values, and love. Then the choice of what to think would be that second is kind of like what Tracy said, right? For me, it's part of the aspiration of living a life of wealth, health, and happiness. So on errata, all the characters are me. They are an emulation, a visualization, an expression of my ability to become different characters. And by the way, we all have this ability. It just takes a little practice. So you'd have to be second to be first. Well, you'd have to start off as fifth and then fourth. But on errata, it's more about integrity and completing our word. I think that's how I'll answer that. Although you may think I didn't. Thank you, Michael.
You did. And I truly love the part. As you said, you need to be second to be first. This is a very powerful sentence, which, if you allow me, I would like to use even in the keynotes and within Industry 5.0. It is really, really powerful. And
absolutely, you go right ahead and just make sure you splash my name all over it. No, that would be egocentric. But you're welcome to use it if you find it powerful. It just kind of rolled out, right? When I'm here, I am simply speaking off the cuff, whatever pops into my mind. So I especially want to thank you for bringing up errata, because it's been off my radar for a while, and I've been doing something else. So it's helped me realize that I need to go back and expand and do the first chronicle, which is in 865 AD in Kiev, Russia, where Iradians first came to Earth to find carbon, which is depleted on Irada. And with them, they brought the chocolates. The elixir within teaches virtues, values, and love to the inhabitants or the people that eat it. And at that time, 865, and probably right now, life was pretty crummy. And so the trade was carbon for values and virtues.
Thank you very much for giving us deeper insight, Leslie. Charito, we have spoken about the second chance, but we haven't spoken about the second choice. So, what do you think about a second choice?
Second choice. You're asking me in the context of the one who's choosing, or the one who is being the second, chosen as a second? Which
I
of
don't
that?
know. I don't know, to be honest. Take it as you wish.
Second choice. Okay. So if I'm going to look for something, whether it's a human being or whatever I do in my life, if there are choices, of course I'll choose the best. But there's always I always arranged what I want, what I like, in accordance to my will, to my soul, to my inner being. If I'm going to choose a person, that one which fits me, right? If I'm going to choose food, that one which is acceptable to my palate, that's I would my mouth and my body would accept. I would enjoy eating it. If I'm going to see a movie, I'm going to choose the best one. But if I see that so many people there, I have choices. I look around. I do it. It's like in my business, in my real estate. When I look for Roland's, Michael, there are many given to me by my scouters. I have people around. So they give me, I ask them this, I need lots there. So they give me listings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I go there personally and I make choices. I have the first choice, second choice, third, fourth, fifth. It doesn't mean that because I don't like it, but it's the first one fits the parameters to a T, the best possible one that the developer would like. Now the second choice, the second one may not have the perfect, parameter set like the first, but it's the next one in line because it would be, then it would be more likely to be chosen. So that's what I do with my business, with the lands that I do. And I'm happy to say that when I bring them to developers, if I have 5 listings, I arrange it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I show them all. The first one, my first choice, is always taken 100% in my 15 years of Rollins. So that means to say that I have followed the parameters. My deep inside of me, I used my soul, my intellect, my heart, my brain to put that into reality, to put that into my business. So that's how I do it. So when a second choice for me, there's always the first one. Now, if other people is choosing us and I'm on the second choice, that I won't feel sad. Because in this world, I know that not everybody has got to be number one. Can you imagine a world where everybody wants to be number one? There's no number two, number three, number four. And when you say you are the second choice, we need to say if anything happens to the first one, you will be the next in line. You will be then at the forefront. You will be in the first line, right? So first, second, third choices. I look at life this way. I don't get hurt if you choose me as the third or fourth. It doesn't matter because it's you who is judging and choosing. It's not me. And it's your turn. But if I'm the one choosing to, I see to it that everything that I put in there would be just in accordance to what I need is right for me and all that. Because then what happens to the choices if you choose first, second choice, third choice, and you don't feel right about it? At the end of the day, you said, "Oh, I was wrong." So first choice, second choice, choices for me, Michael. It's part of life. I accept it wholeheartedly. Whatever place I am, will I be the second choice? No problem. Your third choice, no problem. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. We have only 1.5 minutes left. And Philip, sorry to skip you, but Tracy, is there any Chinese proverb related to second?
Yes, actually, I wrote one in the chat. It's a sentence that came out from a general, and he actually talked about the courage. So it has some value in it. That's why I want to share. So in military, they use drums. We talked about drums previously. So this saying goes, the first effort is vigorous, the second wanes, and the third is exhausted. However, if you strategically plan wisely, I think the comeback could be even more powerful. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining me today. I am looking forward next week to meeting you again and to ride towards wasteless world together. Have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free.
Michael,
Yes?
Michael, hold on. Can I ask you a question? What happened to the anniversary? The 10
Um,
years. You were not
unf-
there.
no, no,
I
no.
wanted to come in.
Unfortunately, it was not launched by LinkedIn. There was some